Success is a fragile thing. We spend years building a fortress of wealth and influence, believing we are finally untouchable in our high-rise kingdoms. James was at the peak of his career. He had the respect of his peers, the keys to the city, and a future that seemed written in gold. But every empire has a tipping point. For James, it wasn't a slow decline, but a single moment of ego disguised as a bold business move. With one confident flourish of his pen, he signed away his security for a gamble he thought he couldn't lose. The ink was barely dry before the world shifted. The collapse was instantaneous. Trust evaporated, stocks plummeted into a sea of red, and the headlines turned his name into a warning for others. His office, once a temple of productivity, was stripped bare. The silence that followed the chaos was the loudest thing James had ever heard. From a penthouse to the pavement, James walked the streets as a ghost of his former self, realizing that his identity had been tied to a title. He looked at his reflection in a dark puddle and didn't recognize the man staring back. The ruin was complete, or so it seemed to everyone else. But failure isn't a dead end, it's a detour. James took a job that required sweat instead of signatures, trading his pride for a chance to survive. There is a different kind of dignity in manual labor. In the rhythm of the work, he found a clarity that the boardroom had never offered him. By night, he became a student again. Under the glow of a single lamp, he dissected his mistakes and began sketching the blueprint for a comeback. He wasn't trying to reclaim his old life. He was building something better. This time the foundation would be made of humility and hard-earned wisdom. Years of persistence finally bore fruit. James stood before a new door, not as a desperate gambler, but as a seasoned, grounded entrepreneur. True power isn't about how much you have, but how much you can give. James realized his greatest asset was the story of his own fall. He passed on the lessons learned in the shadows, helping others navigate the pitfalls he had once fallen into. His redemption was finally complete. Remember, no matter how far you've fallen, the ground is just a place to start building again. It's never too late to start over.